This is an example of a optimization process. In this case, we are optimizing the number of points a fantasy baseball team scores at the 80th percentile, subject to certain constraints. There's a bunch of them. Salary needs to be under $50,000. You have to fill out a lineup with those positions. You're limited to a certain number of players per team. So the first thing we do in this process is to determine all the possible iterations of lineups that meet our criteria. And so this is the code that does that, and you can see it's fairly complicated, pretty long code. Use lists, arrays to speed up the process. I can't run that now because it'll take a few minutes, but I ran it before recording this video. There are 25,000 possible iterations. Usually that number is much higher. Usually it's around 300,000. So the next step is figuring out the points. And so what else we did before recording this video is we ran some Monte Carlo simulations. We ran 1,000 simulations per game. So here we have all the points scored for each player in each of the 1,000 simulations. So what we want to do then is for each player we create an array of those 1,000 simulation results. Then for each team we merge those arrays, then take the 80th percentile of the points from that merged array. And that's quite a few calculations, especially when you're doing it 300,000 times, as is the case often. So what we did to speed that up is I set it up so it will run in multiple iterations of a VBScript process that I created. So what it'll do is it'll save the data into 4 separate files, then run 4 separate scripts, and so everything will run in the background, and you'll be able to use all the processors on your computer, and it'll run a lot faster, and we can get it down to about 20 minutes that way, assuming we have a full 300,000 lineup possibilities. It would take a lot longer if we tried to do it in Excel without using any of those tricks. So again, this is an example of a lineup optimizer process created in Excel using it's pretty heavy lifting in VBA.